Story 1. Future MIL said she wants some wedding family pictures without me, the bride. She sent a text to my fiancé and I about how she wants some photos of their family without me, so fiancé doesn't see rapture chair dress. All of our family pictures are planned for after the first look with each other. I texted her the photographer's written out schedule and politely shut her down. My parents are paying for the photographer, so no way am I being left out. She has been overbearing and weird about our wedding and relationship. She also says, jokingly, that my fiancé is the better son and her favorite child eye in front of her other son. That being said, am I completely overreacting about what she said, or was it super weird to try and cut me out of photos on my own wedding day? ETA, I think one thing I got upset about is her phrasing, not her just wanting a picture without me in it. She also said, just that their last name, family, which made me feel excluded because that is the day I'm joining their family, so would I not be part of it as she wanted it to be her, FBL plus his wife plus their baby, FFL. Her ex-husband and my fiancé? Comment 1. You and your fiancé need to have a conversation that once you are married, you two are the primary family for each other. His and your families of origin are no longer your core family. You both have to prioritize your new family, forsaking all others. If this can't happen, your marriage will be fraught with conflict and will be unhappy. Comment 2. The photographer's client can ask the photographer not to follow the inevitable request from MIL to fulfill her wish. Comment 3. Your wedding isn't a free photo opportunity for her or anybody else. Story 2. Mother won't understand my boundaries for my baby, still expecting. Hi everyone. This might be a long post. Unfortunately, it is about my own mother and not my MIL. She's fantastic. Backstory / important facts to know. I am 26F. My husband is 29M. My mother is 55F. I am 31 weeks pregnant with my first baby. He is going to be the first grandchild and grandson on both mine and my husband's side of the family. My mother has terminal cancer. She currently is in good standing, but constantly plays the "I'm dying, I don't know how much longer I will be here" card to manipulate and get what she wants. She also has alcoholic tendencies and it has only gotten worse since her diagnosis. I have always been the SG child, always told I'm crazy, dramatic, and the problem child. I have a psychology degree, child education / development degree, and have been in therapy for 10 plus years. This all started because my husband, also amazing, and I sat down and went through our boundaries for our baby while he is a newborn. They're very basic: don't come around if you're sick, wash your hands, take off your shoes, masks if not up to date on vaccinations, etc. While talking to my mother on the phone, she brought up hospital visitation after birth. I am comfortable with having both sets of grandparents, our parents, to come meet the baby and check in with us once I am cleaned up and settled. However, I have requested that no one hold him in the hospital as he will be very fresh, less than 24 to 36 hours old, and I have had a rough pregnancy and want to focus on bonding and skin to skin. The only person with an issue has been my mother. She thinks that because she might die one day that she has free reign to act however she wants and get whatever she wants. She is of the opinion that because her mother was in the delivery room and the first one to hold all of her babies, even before she did, that she should be the first person to hold my baby before I get to, and she should be in the delivery room. I calmly told her no, and that's not what I wanted. I want everyone to come meet him and introduce him, catch up, and we will invite everyone back to the house for a longer visit / to hold him when we get home and settled. She said to me, "There's no point in going to visit you if I can't hold the baby. I am dying, and I don't know how much longer I have to be able to bond with him. It's important that he knows who I am and bonds with me," and hung up. She then proceeded to text me these messages. Me, that was unnecessary. Mom, I think I have a different view of what's unnecessary. I'm done talking about your boundaries because they're for you. We will just prepare that we won't see our grandson except through photos. Me, that's your choice. I'm his parent and I get to decide what happens. Mom, you sure do. No matter who else gets hurt in the process. Me, well, it didn't sound like you cared about my feelings either. At the end of the day, I'm going through labor and postpartum and bonding with my new baby and family. You should care enough about me as your daughter to respect that and want the best for us. Mom, of course. It is a family thing. Just not the whole family. Not how I was raised nor how I raised my children. Family is more important to me than you realize. Please ask in-laws to watch the dogs. Please don't send me more rules nor discuss it with me again. You've made yourself very clear. I guess I did my part with the wedding and baby shower. Good luck, hope you and baby are fine. She didn't help with my wedding. It was 2 years of stress and back and forth with her. Again, had to set boundaries and went NC with her immediately after for a few months. She had me plan my baby shower that she wanted to host, and we split the costs. But that stuff isn't important. I didn't respond to her last messages. I am wondering if it is even worth doing. I'm just very hurt and quite honestly very sick of having to deal with the manipulation, and I don't think I want that behavior around my son. Comment 1. Honestly, I do as she asks, find new dog sitters, and don't reach out again. She will change her mind, and when she does, you can reassert the boundaries with her then. Comment 2. Babies don't need to bond with their grandparents. You know who they do need to bond with? Their parents. Particularly their mother. Comment 3. If she's wrong about how much she helped with your wedding, she doesn't sound like a reliable narrator. I doubt very much her mother held her babies before she did. She's remembering it that way to get what she wants. Story 3. My ML always repeats what I say to my son, only louder. Bit of a backstory. My ML has always been a bit of a bully, especially to me. Saying that I'm fat, making fun of my clothes, my eating habits, always trying to humiliate me in public, but especially nasty when out of ear from my husband and FL. Things have gotten better in the last few years because I've started to gray rock her and never be alone with her. Also, telling my husband what has been going on has been helpfully because he supported my not wanting to be friendly with her. Now, 2 things have happened 2 years ago. My son was born and my FIL has tragically died, which has left everyone devastated. Understandably, he was a very, very good and nice person. My ML has started spending more time with us, especially with the baby, which, being an absolute delight, is so fun to be around that everyone falls in love with him, including my ML, which usually finds something to complain about in absolutely everything. It's clear that she desperately wants to bond with him, to have a special relationship like the one my husband has with his grandmother, relationship that my ML resented, by the way. So she hangs around every day, tries to play with him, talk to him, which is nice, but every day in the evening is not the ideal time to bond with a toddler, especially since he's tired after being at daycare all day. We are tired because we also work full-time. I bring him to daycare and go fetch him every day, so we are so tired and just want to cuddle with him, but we can't because she wants to play and overstimulates him just for fun. We asked her to not overstimulate him, and she just said, "That is so much fun." Anyway, all this could be perfectly understandable but for the fact that, if the kid does not give her enough attentions, she starts to do something weird. She starts to repeat everything I tell him, just louder. Like, "Honey, eat your food," and she goes, "HONY, eat your food," or "You did great," and she goes, "You did great." I don't even know how to explain it. I say something, and she repeats it louder, just to try and cover my voice. If I explain something to him, when he misbehaves for example, she talks over me, repeats everything louder, so sometimes I need to raise my voice just to hear what I'm saying. Also, if I change him or bathe him, she stays close to me, like so close that I cannot move, like trying to be the one changing him without actually doing it. Like, she wants to be before him so he talks to her instead of my while I'm changing him. I don't know why she does this. It's driving me insane, because if I ask her to let me talk she just says, "I didn't say anything. I'm not doing anything." My husband, so used to her being like this, is like deaf to her talking, like it's not happening. But I cannot ignore her, also because I'm so exhausted. I'm the one that wakes up when the kids wakes up at night. I'm the one helping him get ready to daycare. I bring him to daycare, then work all day, clean the house and do laundry on lunch break. I WFH, then I go take him from daycare. and he only wants to be at bedtime. So in the evening, I only want to spend some quality time with him, not fight for the right to just talk to him in my own home. I honestly don't know what to think anymore. My parents have been visiting the last 2 days and have noticed the same thing. They say they don't know how I just don't explode, and it's been so nice to be validated in this. So, I don't know if anyone has a MIL who does the same thing and can explain this behavior to me, because I feel like I'm going crazy. Thank you so much. Comment 1. Every day, like every single day? That's where I would start. Like she gets to come over once a week. Okay, well if you're not saying or doing anything, then I guess I am going a little nuts, and it's not a good time for guests. Lead her ass to the door. Start doing it every time she annoys you. Comment 2. Have you tried to cut back on your MIL's visits? Every day is too much even if she were a decent MIL. You and your husband should be prioritizing your relationship with your child. Her behavior too isn't positive and isn't good for your son. You might also consider including your parents in a conversation with your husband. Start out by pointing out that your parents have also noticed that your MIL is regularly mocking you and acting inappropriately. Let your parents give their perspective. You don't have to include them in any discussion beyond establishing that there is a problem. Comment 3. She's trying to get your child to think she is the mother and latch onto her instead of you subconsciously. I have dealt with this kind of phenomenon in therapy before with patients. She's trying to confuse your son so he doesn't fully understand who his primary caretaker is. Comment 4. I don't know if I could resist saying, is there an echo in here? Because that got under my skin just reading it. Story 4. Update. My MIL always repeats what I say to my son, only louder. I don't know if you remember my post about my overbearing MIL, but I have a little update. First of all, thank you so much for your advices. I felt so validated like never before in the last 2 years, so I'm very grateful. The last post has been cathartic in a good and bad way, because some days after it, I broke down with my mother on the phone. I was so overwhelmed and sad and anxious that I just could not take it anymore. So I broke down crying in the middle of the street and told her everything. She encouraged me to speak with my therapist because I needed to find a way to cope with my feelings, but also find the courage to solve the issue. The therapist basically berated because she didn't know everything I was feeling. I was too vague in our sessions because I was ashamed. So, both her and my mother told me to speak to my husband because I needed to solve the issue or I would break down definitively. The next day, I broke down with him too. I cried a lot and then explained what I was feeling. Turns out, he was feeling the same. The constant presence, the lack of control in our own home, the missed alone time with our son, basically relinquished by his mother, who was slowly taking everything for herself and insinuating herself in our family life. Everything was wearing him down, too. So, we came out with a plan. We wanted to lay down some ground rules first and then slowly decrease her visits. But then something has happened. 2 days ago, my MIL came to me and asked, OP, I feel like I'm always underfoot. I am not, right? And just decides to be upfront. I told her, very gently, that yes, she was a bit. That sometimes a young family wants to stay alone. That out time with the kid is sacred. That he needs a routine because he's a person with needs, not just a baby or an emotional support. She was clearly stunned. Maybe she expected me to reassure her. So she just stared to say things like, but if I'm not always there, you say that I don't care, or, but I never see him, since he's in daycare all day, and, but I'm part of his routine. Now, I cannot abandon him, so I told her that. First of all, we would never say such a thing, because we give for granted that everyone knows that our kids' needs come first. So if you don't visit because he needs his routine, that's not just perfectly acceptable, but very much appreciated. Second, that the kid is in daycare all day, so we never see him. So that 3 hours a day he's home are for us, his parents, and no one else's. Say, she's not entitled to have those precious moments. They are a gift, not a right. Lastly, I told her that the kid will be fine if she's not here every second, because he has a rich family life, and also to be part of his routine is not good. The routine should involve his parents, not her. So, I told her that going forward there will be rules. Maybe visit on the weekend or sometimes in the week. But after we say so, So, no impromptu visits anymore. Always call first. If we say some things, do not overstimulate him. Leave him alone to play and know on. She needs to comply. I was gentle but firm. I don't know where I found the courage. After a second, she just said, I'll tell my son. See if he agrees. And when I told her, of course, no problem, she didn't say anything else except for, you understand. If he's not the one telling me these things, I'll just do what I'm doing. I knew she wanted to imply that I didn't have the right to set these rules, in her belief, but I was sure that was what my husband also wanted, so I was serene. When he got back, my husband was out with the kid. He told her the same things, not in so many words, so she left. Since then, she has tried to play the victim card, tried to insinuate doubt in the husband that I've been aggressive or something. Yesterday, she has begged to come, so we decided to let her visit. She tried again to play the victim card, but we have been adamant. Today was a gift. We are in control. She wanted to come again today, but we told her, maybe in a day or two. Let's see, call first, and that's it. I feel liberated but also anxious, because I know it will be difficult to not cave and be firm. Also because I am in a fragile state and really could have made without this issue, honestly. But I feel so much better already. She'll be insufferable, and I still feel guilty, but know for the first time I see her for what she really is. She is a bully. She's trying to come between our marriage, make us fight. She want to take something from us, the most important thing. She's not doing it just because she's lonely. She feels entitled, and that's not acceptable. I feel so angry that it took so long for me to accept that I'm not the problem. She is. I wish I was not so fragile and in bad shape after the birth of my son. I could have been stronger, but it is what it is now. I just hope the next days and months and years will be easier, because these are supposed to be the happiest days of our lives, and we were going to forfeit them to her, a person that does not respect us. Comment 1. After a second, she just said, I'll tell my son, see if he agrees, and when I told her, of course, no problem, she didn't say anything else except for, you understand. If he's not the one telling me these things, I'll just do what I'm doing. That calls for consequences. Congrats on Mama Bear coming out. I might add that the grandma routine brought up is more than generous. That's a place to start with consequences. Comment 2. I'll tell my son, see if he agrees. Oh, lovely. That may mean that she should not come visit unless her dear son is home. If she is outright saying she won't listen to you, do you want her there at all without him present? Comment 3. You have no reason to feel guilty. I'll tell my son, see if he agrees. Sounds to me like even while admitting she is out of control, she's still trying to run rickshaw over you. Grandma needs to be told to stay in her lane. Next time she comes over without calling and getting your okay first, lock the door and don't answer. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.